everyone, this is Adam at Digimon TCG Scotland bringing you a championship deck profile with Lord Nightmon. I just won the store championship at Geek Retreat in Glasgow. There was 26 players. So in this video, I'm just going to go over the deck profile in general. Now, I know it's coming to the end of the Set 5 format and Lord Nightmon loses a lot of its playability because faster aggro or even more aggro decks come out. But there are still store championships, and if this video can help even one person win, then it's absolutely worth it. So in this video, I'm just going to be I'm going to be doing a pack opening to see what I won. I'm going to go over the deck profile and just talk a bit about my matchups in general and how they went. So, obviously, Lord Nightmon, here's the championship pack that we get for winning. It's very, very pretty. It contains the store championship promos of a bunch of different cards. Gabumon, Agumon, not Agumon, Patamon, Diabodomon, etc. I am not going to be opening, I'm not opening this just for the moment. I might open it at a later point, but unfortunately that's what you get. You can look up online, etc. what they get, but what we do get to open are 7 packs of BT5. That's what I won. So just how many packs in a box? 30, like 24. So a third of a box. So if you want to just skip to the deck profile, skip to this time right now. And assuming you don't want to, let's see what we get. Now we've already done a big bunch of box openings, so we're just going to skip through. Got a Takumi and an Omni Shoutmon. I assume everybody knows what everything does at this point. Feel free to go back and check out our mega box opening. We'll be bringing you some for BT6 as well, if I can get this feckin' pack open. Ooh, an alternate art Omnimon with a Diabodomon. Very nice, that's one alt art. And again, Sora Joe and a Werewolf Sagittarius mode, Garurumon. War Greymon and a Balukomon. Cool, I've just scattered the cards everywhere, that's wonderful. Ooh, Catastrophe Cannon and Tai. 2 packs left. Let's try and get one more pull. A Hexabloumon. I think that's the first Hexabloumon that I've pulled actually, which is kind of ironic considering the amount of packs that I've opened. And final pack of our winnings is something shiny. Metal Garurumon. Of course. Where would I be if I didn't have at least 4 all times, even though I've just got rid of a playset? And then some. So just going to sleeve these up quickly. These are little cool inner sleeves that I've been using to sleeve some cards up. They are totally see-through at the front, but then the back is quite shaded in, so it's quite nice. So let's just sleeve this up. So moving on to the Lord Nightmon. The Lord Nightmon deck profile. As I've said, this is up to people if they want to use it or not. I've seen a lot of success with this deck. I'll go over the cards in general and some spicy techs and stuff. But say goodbye to the participant pack, the champion pack. It's so very shiny. Okie dokie. So moving on to the deck profile itself. Obviously, we're going to start with our little eggy boys, and just going to move that. Okay, so as is very standard for Lord Nightmon, we are playing 4 Pikmon. When you've got 3 or more Digimon in play, you get to -1000. Super useful. And 1 Coromon that does the same thing in a later stage in the game. Make sure you give this a good shuffle so this doesn't come up first. I have got the regionals sleeves, and I've now double sleeved everything because they're all very nice. That's your standard egg count. You can play 4 Pikmon if you want a little bit more consistency, but honestly, it really does not matter too much. So moving on to level 3s, we play a very, very heavy level 3 lineup of 15 playables, 15 rookies in general. The first of which are 4 Patamon. The inherited gain a memory when you drop something to 0 is incredibly useful, and it's won me games. If you have a War Growlmon that has the Digiburst effect and you've been set to 2 memory, if you can kill something, you can use this to get you to 3 to go into a Lord Nightmon. Very, very useful. It came up in every single game I played. 4 of them are a must in my opinion. We play 4 Starmons. When you play it down, you get to minus 1000 for something for every Digimon you have in play. Syncs with Lord Nightmon, super good. Play 4 of them for consistency. We play 3 Pulsemon. Now I do have a play set of Pulsemon, but I swapped out a 4th Pulsemon for an extra Starmon because I realised I wasn't playing 4 of them. Super handy on play effect, super handy to draw one or gain a memory, or both. Would really recommend you run these. These are not cheap cards, so if you want to substitute them with something, you could do the Labramons that let you draw if you delete something, or just play a heavier line of Kotemons and things like that. So we've got 3 of those. We play 2 Kotemon to search. Play it out for a 3 cost, lets you add up to 2 Holy Warriors or Warriors. Super good. You cannot search yourself with this. I see a lot of people taking Kotemons off this. It does not search itself because, as you can see, Kotemon is a reptile. Doesn't work. Play 2 of these. Play 2 Bushiagamon because they have Rush. Super handy. Play it out with the Lord Nightmon. Swing with it. Probably dies, but that's fine because it's super aggro. And then the two Lucimons, you could swap these out with the promo Patamons if you want a bit of a cheaper alternative. These have come up, and if you've got more 10 in trash, you can play it for 5, also super handy. This effect has saved me from quite a few games. So that's our level 4 lineup. Now, to compensate for our level 4, our level 3 lineup being quite heavy, we play less level 4s than normal. So we start off 4 Piddomon blockers. Obviously, it's a 1 cost to evolve, super handy. And you can choke your opponent, blah blah blah. It's a blocker. Obviously, you play it. If you play down a Patamon with Lord Nightmon's effect, you evolve into your Piddomon, and then you're jammy. You're good to go. We play 4 Toruimon, obviously another 1 cost to evolve, 6k to swing with, though I wouldn't recommend it. Keep it in your breeding area till you've at least got a War Growlmon ready to go. Super handy. And then we play 2 Gladimon to round that off. This on play lets you grab things like Lord Nightmon, etc. Again, you can't grab Kotemon. It can grab yourself, grab itself, amongst other things. We don't play any Unimon blockers. I have found that while they are useful, you know, they're blockers, they get around Nidhogg, it's not come up frequently enough, and I'd rather draw more rookies in order to be able to get things out and promote and evolve, etc. I have not had much of an issue with this level 4 lineup, so it's 10 level 4s. Yeah, it's a bit thin, but this is what the decks are this is what level 4s are going to look like in set 6 onwards. You're probably going to be playing 10 at most, so totally fine with that, very happy. We now move on to our level 5s, and we are, of course, playing 4 Lord Nightmon. You know, on play minus 4k from something. Great effect. Play 4 of them. No further explanation needed. We play 3 War Growlmon. For the Digiburst effect, and the Inherited's also good. Like I said, you can Digiburst with this. If you've got, and keep the Patamon, puts you up to 3, lets you play a Lord Nightmon. Very useful. And we play 1 Sirenmon, because later in the game, when you're swinging and things like that, and if you've got your memory timer set out, you can go into, if you hatch an egg, you go into level 3, pay 1 to go into level 4, pay 2 to go into this level 5. It's still your turn. You can then safely evolve into a Lord Nightmon or anything like that, or potentially choke your opponent. Only play 1 of it because the War Growlmon is far better, and I don't play any of the Angelwimon because it's not as good. I think the deck runs it. You know, they do very well, but this is a hyper aggressive version of Lord Nightmon, and I don't have time for the Angelwimons. You're free to play them obviously if you want. If you could do 2 War Growlmon, ignore the Sirenmon, but this has come up in quite a few games, and it's very good to have a 2 cost to evolve. Moving on to our level 6. We've got a little bit of a shiny tech boy, but first of all we have Crusadermon, Lord Nightmon, the good boy / girl / genderless robot. This is your boss monster. You get into this, you hopefully swing with it, bring out a Lord Nightmon, bring out a Nightmon with its on-play effect, even if there's nothing to kill, and then if you can go into a second Lord Nightmon, I guarantee you, if you do that, your opponent will not be able to keep up. Super, super handy. You play 4 of them. I run 2 Angemon. When you Digivolve into it, minus 8k from something. If you play out a Lord Nightmon, play out a Nightmon, that's minus 4k. Evolve into Slash, that is minus 12k on something. That's going to kill anything that isn't 13,000 or above. Super, super good. And then you've even got things like a Pikmon underneath the Lord Nightmon if something is 13k. I play 2 of these. Some decks run 3, but I play a spicy, spicy boy, Kentorosmon, as a special tech. This lets you, when you Digivolve into it, up to 5 of your opponent's Digimon get security attack minus 2. And on deletion, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 11k. This won me my round 4 game against Lilithmon Loop, because they decked themselves out and just had a Zwart. They were getting ready to swing for game, so I evolved into this. None of their Digimon could attack, and then they decked themselves out. This is, I also works extremely well against Rookie Rush. It delays their attack for a turn and lets you build up a better board presence if something's just been deleted. I really, really recommend you run this in your deck. It is super spicy, super good, super, super recommend it. And if I've not said super enough, well, that's my problem, isn't it? And to round the numbers off, 2 Valderarm, Digivolve into it, minus 14k from something, potentially only costs 5 memory, or even less if you got 1 or more Patamons with their Inheriteds available. Try not to use it, is my advice. If you can clear the board by keeping your Lord Nightmon, I would do that. I'd highly recommend it. The whole point of Lord Nightmon is to do Lord Nightmon things and swarm the board. This prevents that. But it has come up, and obviously if it gets hit in security, unless something's at jamming, they're probably going to die. Super good. And then we're going to sad face a bit, because our 3 Tamers are 3 TKs, of which I only have 2 alternate arts at the moment. Play this down if you get a chance. If you get a chance to look at your security, take whatever you need. Just remember, you do have to take something. It is a mandatory effect. And if you don't take a yellow, for example, if you take a Valderarm, you do not get the recovery. And that can lose your games. But that's never going to happen. Super good. Play 3 of them for consistency's sake. Just while I've remembered to mention, Kentorosmon. It is a Holy Warrior and Royal Knight. This is searchable with Gladimon. It's searchable with Kotemon. It's super useful. Like I said, cannot recommend this card enough. And it's a cheap alt art, so your deck can look a little bit shinier. And then to round it off, we play 2 Spyro Masquerade, which honestly didn't come up in my matchups too much, apart from the end game where I got to Nuka Chaos Gallantmon and 1 Blinding Ray. I'm considering upping this to 2 because it's so useful, but I have seen Lord Nightmon players trash too many of their security and lose the game because of it, so I'm very hesitant as to the power it gives you. That's the whole deck. If there's anything you think I can improve upon, obviously let me know. I am super pleased that I've won this championship. It means a lot to me, and I'm very, very happy. In terms of matchups, round 1, I went against Hexablaumon. The matchup was fairly tricky. I bricked game 1 and he bricked game 2. And then game 3, I got 2 Lord Nightmons out and he couldn't do much about it. Game 2, I was against Diaboromon. Game 1, I bricked. Game 2, he bricked. Very, very similar. And then game 3, he did brick and I got into a Lord Nightmon quickly enough to swarm the board. So that was me 2-0. Game 3, I went against another Hexablaumon Alforce deck. And I bricked one of the games, but I managed to swarm the field enough. And if you're going against Hexablaumon, just remember, don't hardcast your champions or level 4s because they're going to get their sources trashed. Build up a big as stack as you can so they can't do anything about it. And then I won that one. No spicy cards needed to win that, just Lord Nightmon doing its thing. Game 4 was against Lilith Loop, and this was the match that I had been dreading all day because I was playing against a very, very skilled player. Who, if he's watching, you're a phenomenal player. the end of game 1, like I said, he didn't destroy my War Growlmon, so I evolved into Kentorusmon and he decked himself out. He was otherwise winning that, but thanks to that spicy tech. And then game 2, I swarmed the field quite quickly. He managed to make a comeback towards the end, but it was just a little bit too late, unfortunately. With this deck, I always focus on clearing the board before taking security. It's much more important to me. You can play it however you want to, obviously, but I highly recommend you try and do as much board control as you can before you swing for game. It's what wins you the game. And then the finals match was against Chaos Gallantmon, and I bricked game 1, he bricked game 2, and then going into the third round, he didn't see a level 6 until a bit of a round too late, by which point I was already set up. He managed to kill my Lord Nightmon using the retaliation. No, he didn't, because I blocked it, but then he managed to kill it. By that point, I was building up I went into my Piddomon, into Sirenmon, and then into Lord Nightmon, killed the Chaos Gallantmon, and he couldn't keep up, and then it went 2, and then that was it, and I won. Super great deck. Play this if you can. Once set 6 comes out, it loses a bit of its integrity just because other decks come out that get rid of things like that. Jessamon becomes super popular, and Jessamon murders Lord Nightmon because it can just spam blockers onto the board. But otherwise, I hope you enjoyed. I have a very wonderful day. And now I'm going to go and collapse into a pile of slop because my brain is frazzled. There's the Gallantmon, and like I said, there's other stuff in here, but I'm not opening it. And yeah, you can hear my voice going, have a great day, and oh yeah, and just in case you're here at the end, I know there's not been a couple of videos out. We've been trying to get stuff done, but life's been busy. More stuff's coming soon, especially with BT6 coming out. Yeah, have a great day, enjoy your life, drink plenty of water, and see you later. Peace.